dress for success, so I had to make sure my man Jay Will, who claimed that, says that grown men shouldn't wear other people's jerseys. And so when he lost that bet last night, the Lakers going up 1-0 on the Heat, I decided that because he's been a fan of mine for so long as a kid when he was growing up and I played for the Jets in New Jersey and the Meadowlands, I decided to make sure that he got my all Pac-12, all Century jersey, and I put 2 trading cards signed by me on each shoulder. And so you stand up a minute, turn around, Jay. I want him to see the back.
No, I'm not turning around. I'm not Vanna White. No, you're not going to tell me to stand up and turn around. I want him to see the back of the name on the jersey. I don't want them to see. I know whose name it is.
No, the fans need to see it. Just turn around. Just see it so they know. Just turn around. There you go. See that? Johnson on the back of the jersey. That's you can sit back down now. So I wanted to make sure that, he gets an opportunity to represent.
First off, is this a 2X jersey? It makes me feel like I'm 5'5".
You're swimming.
Why does it feel like an art smock? Why does it feel like that?
Football jersey, man. Shoulder pads.
Why are you smiling so much and all your signature stuff? Just a lot of smiley faces with your helmet on.
I didn't take the pictures. I didn't take the pictures, but it's good though. You finally got one.
That's like a Zoolander Keyshawn right there. That's a model Keyshawn. I wish people can see this at home. The faces, it's incredible. I've never seen anything like it. The chin structure
still look the same.
The chin structure still looks the same.
A little chubbier, but it still look the same.
Do we get a certificate of authentication on the autograph?
Absolutely.
Very important.
Hope I can make some money on these rookie cards. That's what I want.
Keep them in mint condition.
Man, put it back up there, man. Don't be trying to take it off.
It's no longer in mint condition.
There's cheap tape on it, man.
That lower right corner is going to get scuffed on.
He tried to put me in Kevin Love jersey. You see?
Hey, I had the do-rag. So you had the jersey. You had the jersey. Jay got me with the do-rag.
How does it feel to wear another grown man's jersey?
I feel like lesser of a human being. That's how I feel right now.
I just wanted to big up him, that's all.
Welcome back to Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Zubin. I'm going to rescue Jay here. Welcome back to Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Zubin. We're coming to you live from above the Heineken River Deck at Pier 17. We are all even. All right, Jay, you're here. You were part of the broadcast last night. You got the last word last night. We're going to give you the first word this morning. This is your sport. Your biggest takeaway from last night's game 1 was?
That the NBA missed an opportune time to reseed the entire playoffs. This does not need to be the NBA Finals.
That is bold.
And it's with all due respect to Miami, especially them not having Goran Dragic, plantar fasciitis, Bam being hurt. Like, this is where, and I'm not saying it will worked out this way with the Clippers because who knows what would happen with Denver and everything, but you just wish that they would have reseeded 1 through 16, Key. Just the best teams.
Yeah.
No more East-West. Look, the reality is, coming into this, we all know, we both agree that the Lakers are going to win. No matter, you said 5 games, 6 games, whatever it might be.
4 now.
Right? 4 now. It seems like a sweep. It seems like it's imminent. But this is just where I wish every team that I paid attention to in the East, whether that be Milwaukee, whether that be Toronto, whether that be Miami, whether that be Boston, I didn't think any team was good enough to beat the Lakers.
Or the
Clippers. Right? So I much have rather seen see 1 through 16, regardless of, take out this whole East-West thing. Mm-hmm. And this was a year with everything happening in 2020. Let's just find out who the best team was in the NBA. The Lakers probably still would have been there, probably still would have best team. Mm-hmm. But I just think we would have seen the matchups would have been different.
It would have probably been more, obviously would have been more competitive because if you take out this format and put in the format which you're talking about, like the NC2A to a degree, you could have seen a Portland team maybe go a little further, a Utah team go a little further.
May have seen Denver. I mean, it may have been Denver
a little bit further.
To be real, it may have been the Clippers. I mean, talk about that matchup with Denver. It may have been the Clippers, right? The Clippers might have faced just the Lakers. I'm not saying they're going to get there, and this is not being disrespectful to Miami. Look, Miami felt like they were overwhelmed last night. And in scouting report, Key, you and I were talking about via text. I said, like, LA's ability to knock down three-point shots will be the difference maker in this ball game.
And they knocked them down.
They made 11 in the first half. They shot 65% from the three-point line. And once you do that, it opens up the paint. And that's where AD, LeBron just started attacking. The game was over. There was nothing they can do. So you always wonder with Miami, like, where was your scoring punch? After the end of the first quarter, I got 2 great nuggets for you guys because you love these more so, Zubin, okay? So the Lakers ended the first quarter on a 25-3 The biggest run throughout the course of the game, the Lakers went on a 75-30 run.
Wow.
A 75-30 to 30 run in the first game of the NBA Finals.
Wow.
That's it. I've never seen anything like that before.
A 22 run.
22-point run. Yeah, great. 75 to 30 run. And KCP knocking down shots.
He played well.
Danny Green knocking down shots. AD knocking down threes. LeBron attacking. Jimmy Butler rolled his ankle twice. You're surprised he's still even in the game. Goran Dragic no more. It was tough to watch that game last night.
I want to talk about the Heat's injuries with you in 1 minute, but just a reminder that we essentially have a commissioner in Adam Silver that is as progressive as anybody. The 116 thing that Jay had broached, that's something that other people had brought to Silver before and said, you should really consider this across the board because the East has been so much weaker over the years traditionally than the West, completely understanding last year the Heat, the Raptors won the NBA title. So that is something that has been broached before, but maybe in this atypical year, it's something that could be addressed again moving forward in a more permanent fashion. They talked about having a tournament before. They had to play in tournament. Maybe this is next. Jay, on the Heat, obviously you mentioned the injury to Jimmy Butler with the rolled ankle. Dragic, 34, banged up. But what do you think about Bam Adebayo's shoulder injury and what it does to the Heat's size inside?
It hurts him a lot. With the way the Lakers are shooting the rock. I mean, look, Rajon Rondo's been shooting 45% from the three-point line in the bubble, Key.
Yeah.
Rondo's out there hooping. So you can't really play zone because they understand time, location. They understand different pockets to shoot the ball. And LeBron James, AD catch the ball in the middle of the zone. There's really nothing you could do. You're done.
And I think, though, when you say Bam, they're in trouble because of that, I felt, and it's not because I'm a Laker fan, I felt like they was going to be in trouble anyway because we got three bigs that we can run. We can move AD to the 5 if we choose to do so. Big shoulders is always a force in the middle.
Dwight Howard.
I call him Big Shoulders. Dwight Howard. And then if we ever decide that we want to get into the JaVale McGee game for some minutes, we can always do that as well. So I always felt like they were outmatched, especially when we go big, that they were in trouble. Because even if you don't put LeBron James, AD, and Dwight Howard on the floor, that's an average of about 6'11".
I'm with
right?
you. Yep.
I mean, that's probably, if I'm doing the math correctly, Z, you probably could do it, calculate it really fast in your head. But when you got 2 7-footers and a 6'8" dude, that probably average out to about 6'11". That's a lot of size, man.
And I'll tell you, so Dwight got exposed defensively because of all the pick and roll stuff that they do. But what LeBron James and AD did, they got Bam 2 quick fouls.
Yeah.
They drove, they got him 2 quick fouls. And then once they did that, it felt like there was nobody to protect the middle of the paint. And that's where the Miami Heat are always going to struggle. If you attack Bam, and I'll tell you one thing, his shoulder being hurt, his wrist being hurt, you can be sure that every time he's back in the game, they're going to crack into him again.
Was he hurt prior? Folks said it might have been a
reoccurrence, possible reoccurrence.
Well, he had hurt that wrist in the last series versus Boston, and his shoulder too.
But he ran into Dwight Howard.
It was that and one where it wasn't an and one, but he banged into him, and I think that just kind of probably messed it up even more.
Game 2, Friday on ABC. You'll see Jay and the gang there on Countdown. Of course, every game of the finals on ESPN.